electric smile and killer instinct, Venus Williams, who smashed her way through the U.S. Tennis Open last summer and gave Americans someone to root for. But the truly remarkable thing within the narrow confines of the game of tennis, or more accurately, the industry of tennis, is how she got there. She's 17, 6'2", and has a 118-mile-an-hour serve.
Check out this ace.
She was also a godsend to a sport that has suffered declining interest in recent years. Her debut at the U.S. Open was breathtaking. Speed, brute force, and grace. And the bleachers ate it up. When Venus beat Irina Spirlea in the semifinals, it was the first time in nearly 20 years that any woman had made it into the finals of the U.S. Open on her very first try.
Oh man, I mean, this is just like a dream. I'm just gonna have to like calm down. I'm so happy.
In the final, she was beaten by Martina Hingis, the world's #1 player. But a star was born. In attitude, 1 part Tiger Woods, 3 parts Muhammad Ali.
I am the best. Why shouldn't I believe that? And what's wrong with me thinking that I'm the best player out there?
For someone who'd never won a pro tournament, some people thought she wasn't showing the proper deference. Her opponents called her arrogant.
I will admit that I don't talk much, especially if I don't know someone.
CBS commentator Mary Carrillo and others wondered if that attitude wasn't causing some problems.
There's been so much divisiveness about Venus Williams on and off the court. The fact that she and her mom and sister stay in such a tight little knot away from the rest of the players in the locker room.
Sports Illustrated said the other players simply had Venus envy.
Watch this.
After she and Irina Spirlea collided while they were changing sides, Spirlea went on television and blamed the incident on Williams' high and mighty attitude in unprintable language.
I mean, she thinks she's the f***ing Venus Williams, and that's it. She's not gonna turn. I'm sorry she feels that way, but it's not really a big thing to me.
Do it again.
And that would have been that until Richard Williams, tennis father like no other, said the bump was a racist act and that Spirlea was a big, tall, white turkey. Do you wish you hadn't said that, white turkey?
I refuse to talk about anything I said in the past because when I say something, it's over with.
Well, except there are things that said that made a lot of people angry.
I'm not trying to please for people that want to be angry. Let them be angry. If anyone should be angry, it should be me.
Your dad said that there's a lot of racism in tennis. You agree with that statement?
I'm not political.
No, but you have feelings.
Yes.
And what do your feelings tell you?
I really prefer not to talk about that because when I go out there, I just go out there to play tennis.
But a lot of African-American athletes that I've known over the years are forced to feel that they're playing for more than their own victory, that they're playing for their people. Do you ever feel that?
No. Maybe if I got older, when I go out there, I'm playing for me and then my family.
A family ruled by Richard, coach, manager, and according to his wife, Oracene, a benign dictator. He's really the boss of this house, isn't he?
Yeah.
No question.
No question.
Not even worth fighting or thinking about.
Waste your time.
Her mother and her sister Serena go to her matches. Her father usually stays home. Why didn't you go to the Open?
I didn't train myself to go sit in a stand and have my head going to the left and to the right go, hey, that's a fool.
And Richard Williams is nobody's fool. And there's videotape to prove it. Compton, California, 1991. The Williams were living in a rough section of town when Richard decided that Venus and her younger sister Serena would be the family's ticket out. For after all, a woman could earn more money in one tournament than he earned in a year running a small security guard service.
Great shot.
The ragged public courts of Compton became their country club. When Venus was 10, she'd won 63 matches, lost none. And Richard decided it was time for professional coaching. he invited Rick Macci, who runs a tennis academy in Florida, to take a look.
When that bell rings and she gets on that court, I mean, she'll cut you. That's how competitive this little kid was. And all kids are competitive, but I just saw it much deeper in this child.
It feels like I'm gonna blow my opponent away.
Come on, V. Very good, very good.
Richard called her his ghetto Cinderella.
You open up again, I'll come tickle you.
She was ranked the #1 10-year-old in California. Macci told Richard he'd like to coach her. You didn't just say, okay, Richard, I'll have her at my camp. How did it work?
He sat me down, put me on video. He pulled out 60 questions. He knew more about me than I knew about myself. I mean, I'm going, who is this guy?
That's great, there you go.
He is a cunning maverick,
That's beautiful.
a promotional genius, control freak, and loving father. By 1994, he had moved the family to Florida so the girls could attend Macci's academy. But Richard refused to let Venus do what young prodigies usually do, join the junior tennis circuit. He wouldn't let her play in junior tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, there's different ways to get to the top of the mountain. Trust me, no one has went this way ever.
You had your reasons for keeping her from tournaments.
She couldn't play tournaments week after week and get an education. I think I did the right thing. I know I did the right thing.
Which was no competitive tennis, but plenty of hype by Richard. The result was she became the most famous young player almost no one had ever seen play.
Thank you.
And Richard's reputation for saying one thing and doing the opposite became legendary. You also said that any parent who let the kid play the tournament circuit at age 14 is crazy.
Any parent that allowed their kid to turn professional at age 14 was crazy, is my exact words.
But 14 was exactly when he let Venus turn professional. Her first match, a much-hyped tournament in Oakland, California. Her opponent, a 22-year-old ranked 59th in the world. Venus hadn't played competitively in 3 years.
And believe me, out of the 250 media there, most of these people wanted her to fail. I felt that. Because of Richard beeping the horn, blowing the smoke, throwing the curveballs, you know, I could feel that. And little Venus stepped up and, you know, delivered.
And the myth of the invincible Venus grew. And what did she do next? Nothing. Once again, Richard Williams refused to let her play in more tournaments, and he took back the job of being her coach.
The press and the tennis establishment has had a very difficult time figuring him out.
Sally Jenkins, a writer for Sports for Women magazine, like a lot of people who cover tennis, wondered, was Richard Williams crazy or crazy like a fox?
What does he want? What's he after? What's he up to? What's he doing with her career? It's been fun for some of us to watch him give the tennis establishment fits.
Anyone that's a professional tennis player or anyone that has anything to do with professional tennis, I don't think very much of them know why. So I could care less what these experts think, because these experts are worse than the girls that play. They're interested only in money. I'm interested in my daughter.
And of course in making money as well. So when the big sports management agencies came a-calling, what did Richard have Venus do?
What she did was refuse to go with any of the three big agencies. You know, I mean, she broke the monopoly there that these three companies have had in terms of representing all these kids and getting those commissions on the $1 million contracts.
This is a new cross-training shoe we've been working on.
Just 2 years ago, at just 15, having played just one professional tournament, Richard had Venus sign a contract with Reebok reported to be worth about $12 million over 5 years.
How's it feel?
Feels good.
Reebok says Venus could take tennis in a different direction.
Hi, thanks for coming out.
That's one way of saying there might be a whole new market for their tennis clothes and shoes.
And one more time, Reebok!
Observers like me have thought he was a little goofy, but it looks as though Richard has taken all of the advantages from the tennis world and none of the disadvantages.
V, what you do in school?
This is about as tightly knit a family as you'll find. They live out in the boondocks of Florida in a new house with a broken car in the front yard and a Rolls Royce in the garage. Venus's best friend is her sister Serena. also a rising professional. Richard will only let them practice with each other or with men, slugging the ball with that breathtaking pace. How are you guys going to feel if one day, which seems likely, you'll meet for real?
Well, Vance and I already discussed this. And I told her that it might be a different Serena on the court because I'm going to try really hard. I'm not going to go out there and just let her win, you know.
Off the court, Venus is as normal as any teenage millionaire phenomenon could hope to be.
This definitely is not my forte.
If being a teenage millionaire phenomenon can ever be normal. Do you miss the normal, quote-unquote, teenage things of dating, going to parties, that kind of thing?
I never understood what was at a party. I really didn't, because, like, when you go to a party, what do? Do you dance? I can dance here, okay? If there's food, I can eat here. At a party, I never could understand what is there to do.
Meet new people. That's one thing I suppose you could do. Make new friends. Not important.
Just never wanted to go to a party. That just wasn't my thing.
Has anyone ever told you you got perhaps the world's greatest smile?
Some people, I guess, they say you have a nice smile, but...
She is unfailingly polite, has a sunny personality, and a head full of nearly 2,000 beads. People have asked me, said, ask her, doesn't it bother her when she's playing to hear that noise going on?
Mm-mm. I've had it for so long. I'm used to them. Like when I'm practicing, I'll wear them down like this. But if I'm playing a match, I take rubber band and I put them up. So then if I lose a point, I can't blame it on my beads.
Those beads have become a fashion statement in inner city communities where Venus goes to tell kids they too can succeed.
Even though you're young, it's important to know what you want, because then you'll be able to work toward it.
And she's put her money where her mouth is. This after-school program in Florida survived with the help of a check from Venus. She is godmother to the Venus Williams Tennis Academy in Los Angeles. It puts rackets in the hands of kids on the condition they receive academic tutoring as well.
5 times 5?
25.
23.
There are those who feel that the complexion of this game will soon change radically.
Pick your feet up.
The Williams sisters, and certainly their father,
Very good.
have already upset a whole lot of people in the lily-white world of tennis by not so much bucking the system as ignoring it with matchless self-confidence. Is there any doubt in your mind that you will be number one?
It never has been, because I was always told that I would be number one in the world, and I always believed it. And it's what I worked toward. And I wouldn't play if I didn't play to be the best.
Game, set, match. Williams.
And she may have to show her best against her own sister, Serena, who recently beat two of the world's top 10 players, Mary Pierce and Monica Seles, making Richard very proud indeed.